Good afternoon, everybody. It's Rashida Strober, the world's first and only dark skinned activist, the creator, the inventor, the designer, the architect of the very first platform in history to fight to end what some people call colorism, but what I call darkism. I created the platform in 1998 called Dark Skin Activism. Before there was a social media, before there was YouTube, I created dark skin activism to fight to end a cancer in the black community, darkism, aka light skin discrimination, aka dark skin discrimination. And when I just said light skin discrimination, I meant to say that, by the way, because darkism can happen to light skinned people as well. Because darkism is oftentimes associated with the darkness of a person's skin. But dark skinned people are impacted the most by darkism, and dark skinned women are impacted the most by darkism of anybody in the human race. So, dark skin activism was created in 1998 out of my own struggle to understand why was I being treated differently as a dark skinned female growing up by society, including family, in the church, at the schools, etc. The burning question was why. And as I grew older and began to articulate my thoughts on the maltreatment, that's how dark skin activism, which is the first movement to fight against colorism and darkism, um, that's how darkism was born. Dark skin activism consists of my plays and my books and my unique original darkism commentary about only dark skin. Um, I've been producing my plays and all this stuff and my books and all these different things surrounding the questions of darkism and trying to bring awareness to the unique struggles that dark skinned people face. Fast forward to 2010, I brought the first colorism channel to social media. The first went viral in 2015 for calling out the rapper Kendrick Lamar's darkism. And when I say I went viral, that wasn't because I was trying to do it. It was because I had already been doing dark skin activism before social media existed. And all I did was bring my movement onto social media as another platform. So in 2015, I went viral to millions of Black social media people around the world. As a result, Charlemagne and the Breakfast Club made me Donkey of the Day for calling myself the dark skin activist and for calling out Kendrick Lamar's darkism in terms of his relationship choice, his mate selection. And then Black people at that time, they said I was crazy. Black people harassed me. They sent me death threats. They did a lot of bad things to me. But in the aftermath, Black people on social media began to copy, plagiarize the movement I created. That's exactly what happened. You begin to see Black females on YouTube create channels or change up the content on their channel to make the channel about colorism, whereas previously they didn't do that before. So I said all that to say this because I'm giving you my history and my background because I always do it before all of my lives because there's so many people that have stolen from my creativity on YouTube and social media. Um, any videos, YouTube videos, you know, anybody talking about social colorism on social media and on even on reality television, because the Breakfast Club 2 years later, after they made me Donkey of the Day for calling out the colorism and the darkism, they brought a dark skinned reality TV person to basically regurgitate what I had said, never giving me the opportunity to come on and speak on it. They demonized me and allowed other dark skinned women to take and steal from what I had already created. I'd already been doing this way before social media was created. So I'm going to continue to state the facts. People get angry because I say that I am the world's first and only dark skinned activist, because I am, because I actually invented, created dark skinned activist. That's my actual intellectual property that I actually own. That's my trademark name. So why would I not use it and let it be known to the world. So that's a little bit of the backdrop. I created this darkism commentary where anything that has to do with dark skin and light skin and darkism, I talk about it. And I want to be very clear, I have been doing this before social media existed. I said before social media existed. It didn't take social media and YouTube to come along for me to call out darkism. I've been the dark skin activist, and that's all it is to it. And that's another reason why I'm making this live, because I respect people that originate things. I don't respect people that come along after a person has laid the foundation and you want to take and steal and copy from that person. And that's why I got so much respect for Afeni Shakur, may she rest in peace. And I have so much respect for Dr. Mutulu Shakur. He recently passed. And I even have respect, in a sense, I got a lot of respect for the man Billy Garland, who says he's Tupac's father. The reason I got respect for these people, because they laid that foundation of Black power. They was like the people that were there before it was popular to be pro-Black. And I got so much respect for that. So much respect for that. They are the originators, the Black power elite, because they laid the foundation. People love to speak on Tupac Shakur and his impact. And believe me, I grew up in the 90s as a teenager, and I was impacted by Tupac Shakur and it came out of that era. But if it hadn't been for Afeni Shakur, Dr. Mutulu Shakur, Billy Garland, and those that was in the Black power movement that actually lived that life, it wouldn't be no Tupac Shakur. So I have respect, and I don't plagiarize, and I don't try to, take away or steal from someone else's originality, like a lot of Black people I see currently on social media are doing. Yeah, y'all Black people, y'all are stealing from each other, and that's wrong. And that's why we have a hard time getting somewhere as Black people, because we don't respect the originators. We think that because we got big audiences now because of YouTube, and you don't own YouTube, because YouTube could get rid of your channel at any time. We've seen YouTube take down some of the biggest Black YouTubers. You don't own YouTube. You here today, gone tomorrow, baby. So you don't own anything. So you should be respectful of your Black brothers and sisters, but you're not. You come on here because you've somehow gotten lucky in the algorithms, because it's luck. It's not necessarily talent. It's luck a lot of times. And you think that it's okay to take from the unique and original ideas of other people. It's not. So that's my introduction. The world's first and only dark-skinned activist is in the building. Now, I have watched Billy Garland, the man saying that he's Tupac's father. And by the way, I want to just make this really clear before I continue. I want to be real clear. I am not here to be disrespectful to my elders. That's not what this is about. I am not here to be disrespectful in any kind of way to Billy Garland. That's not what this is about. Okay? But one thing I do want to say is I don't like the way that some of the comments that I've seen of people disrespecting Afeni Shakur. I don't like that. And I feel that some of these people that's making these comments about a dead person that's not here to defend themselves, you're the one that's being disrespectful. And that's part of the reason why I'm making this video. Now, the art of dialogue, that's where I seen Billy Garland's interviews about being Tupac's father. And from what I gather, this is my commentary as the dark-skinned activist. Now, first of all, let me let y'all know, if you don't know what Afeni Shakur, she's dark-skinned. She is absolutely stunning. She's very beautiful. The real Black, dark-skinned, nappy hair, beautiful on the outside, and intellectual. She's very intelligent. That's one of the things I actually like about her. She's very, very intelligent. The real pro-Black. I said the real pro-Black. I'm not talking about these people coming up on YouTube and social media faking it, jumping on bandwagons of people that actually lived the life, that actually went through the struggle. She's the real pro-Black. that was actually in the Black Panther Party. And the reason why I got respect for her is because I myself was in the Uhuru movement, which the chairman, Omali Aishatella, was from the era of the Black Panther Party. He was right along with the Huey P. Newtons, and was right in that time. He just created the Uhuru movement, which is very similar to the Black Panther Party. And I myself in 98 became, somewhere around 98, 99, became a member of the Uhuru movement. Omali Aishatella was great friends with my father, the late Samuel X, who was in the NOI, Captain Samuel X, for 30 plus years. So I grew up around pro-blackness. My dad was pro-black. He was just pro-black as you can get. He was in the NOI. He sold the Final Call newspaper. He organized and actually started the mosque here in St. Petersburg, Florida. My father, Samuel X. So my dad, Samuel X, was friends with the chairman, Omali Aishatella. So that's another affiliation there. And one day when I was at work, I was reading the St. Petersburg Times about, this was like in 98, I was reading the St. Petersburg Times about this man, Omali Aishatella, previously known as Joe Waller, that pulled down a racist mural in the city of St. Petersburg. And they was trying to do something harmful to him. And I didn't like it. And that's when that spurred me to join the movement. As a part of the movement, I created the Malcolm X free tutoring program as a response to the Black children in St. Petersburg that were being treated in a racist fashion. We tutored a lot of Black children. I've seen some of them to this day. They'll walk up to me, give me a hug, and remember me to this day. No lie. I just saw one of them, I want to say about maybe a month ago. Shout out to you. I participated in grassroots campaigns, protests. When Tyron Lewis, y'all can look up Tyron Lewis. I was there when Tyron Lewis got shot by the police in 97 on 18th Avenue South. I was there. I saw it with my own eyes. Participated in the protests and the rallies and the organization of the community with the Uhuru movement out there. I was out there on the grassroots, putting out flyers, calling people to action, attending Sunday meetings. That is why now Afeni Shakur came way before me. She's way back in the 60s. But I also was an activist in the movement, in the Black Power movement. So I have like so much respect. Like these people are like the kings and queens to me. They are just, there's no words for the respect that I have for, like I said, Afeni Shakur, Dr. Mutulu Shakur. By the way, they're going to have his funeral. A friend of mine who was in the movement with me, shout out to you, Tam. She put it on her Facebook. Dr. Mutulu Shakur is going to have his funeral. It's going to be on Zoom. But if you're in Atlanta, I believe you can attend it live. It's on my page. I shared it. I'm going to try to go get the information and share it with you guys. And like I said, Billy Garland. I got so much respect for these people because they gave their life. They gave their all. They could have did anything else with their lives, but they gave their life to the Black empowerment of Black people. They came before all these fake people that's on social, because I feel like a lot of them fake. They just want to be seen on social media. You got people that's coming out with that came to the protests when George Floyd passed away. A lot of those people I saw with my own eyes, they were not there necessarily because they cared so much about George Floyd. You wanted to be seen on social media. So I differentiate between these fake ass social media protesters and the ones that came back when it was no social media. That's who the ones I got respect for. Rest of y'all, I'm looking at y'all with a side eye because I believe that you just want attention. I believe that a lot of y'all are not sincere about what y'all doing. If social media didn't exist and you couldn't go live on your Facebook or live on your Instagram or live on your YouTube, you wouldn't care so much about George Floyd. But I was there protesting against police brutality, against oppression in the school systems, way before social media existed. And I'm going to say it loud and clear for the motherfuckers in the back here, because I'm tired of people pimping pro-Blackness. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of these people coming up on social media pimping pro-Blackness. when you're just here to build up your following. And I see right through the bullshit, and I'm calling it out. So that's why I got respect and much love for Afeni Shakur. It's not so much because of Tupac. It's not even, and believe me, I respect Tupac. I was a teenager when he came out. Like, literally, I grew up in that era. But Afeni and Dr. Mutulu Shakur and even Billy Garland, those are the ones that's on the Mount Rushmore for me. They up there with the Marcus Garveys and the Malcolm X's. Understands? So this live is no disrespect to Billy Garland, but I am here to call out some of the things that I saw as darkism. Anthony Nelson, I'm not being delusional. I'm explaining to you my rationale. I'm explaining to you where I'm coming from. Now, Billy Garland, you got to remember, he put this interview on a public platform. Public platform. If you think for 1 minute that people aren't going to have opinions, then you might as well close down comment sections. You might well not even watch the video. If you think there's not going to be public opinion, you're crazy. He put out the interview. Nobody forced him to put it out. He spoke on Afeni. Nobody forced him to speak on Afeni. People who are true fans of Tupac, true fans of Afeni Shakur, true fans of people like Dr. Mutulu Shakur, we're going to have our opinions. So I'm not being delusional. What I'm doing is I'm speaking and giving my opinion on a public interview that was given on a public platform. And I mean no harm or disrespect to Billy Garland. Zero. None. Now, Billy Garland, phenotypically, he appears to me as lighter skin. He has this aquiline nose that some people would associate with whiteness, but I would argue that maybe that's not. I've seen like Shaka Zulu, for example, dark-skinned people that are unmixed. They have those same type of noses, but a lot of people would associate that with better-looking features and whiteness. So phenotypically, the man is very handsome. Okay, he's very, very handsome. I could tell that he was handsome back when he was younger. He's handsome now. He's light skinned, and I'm not saying that because he's light skinned. I'm not saying that because this man is light skinned. Cause let me tell y'all a little secret here. I think, may he rest in peace. I think that Dr. Mutulu Shakur, that man was so handsome to me. Like, he was like the epitome of blackness. To me, I thought he was like super handsome. Okay. So I'm not just sitting up here saying, oh, this light-skinned man is handsome and discriminating. And no, that's not it. I'm just simply telling you about Billy Garland and what he looks like. He's a lighter-skinned black man with a straight nose. And, he has these features that I believe that because of darkism and racism and colorism that black people would consider to be more attractive. Okay. And when he was speaking, he did mention that Tupac told him, and I'm paraphrasing, y'all could go watch the interview yourself. He did mention something to the effect that Tupac insinuated. He kind of insinuated this. You can make assumptions, but he was talking about how Tupac told him he looked differently from, he was told that he looked differently from the other people in the house, in his family that he was living with, and he felt kind of treated differently because of that. And to me, I could read between the lines. To me, and this can always be clarified. If it felt like what he was trying to say is my son looked better than them, and they was jealous. That's what it felt like to me. This is my interpretation of watching an interview that was placed on a public platform. So don't try to come for me, because you can go make a YouTube video or a Facebook post about your interpretation. And you have every right to do that because the interview was public for public consumption. So that's what I got from that. Now, what I wonder is, what I would like to know from Billy Garland, okay, because he seems to have this, I just get this feeling that he has this thing where maybe, I was kind of too good, and too good looking, or I could do better. Because my question is, number one, what attracted you to Afeni Shakur outside of the movement? Obviously, we know that that's one of the things because he did mention that. But I'm talking about, well, Black women want to feel beautiful. I am so tired of people, and this is one of my criticisms of the Black movement, using dark-skinned women for the revolutionary part, to be the soldiers and be the fighters. Y'all forgot that we were women, and we're feminine, and we still want to feel beautiful. We still want to feel, even us pro-Black women, we still want to feel beautiful. Ain't I a woman? Who said that? But I think sometimes our revolutionary mindset, we lose sight of that. Black men lose sight of that. Because Black dark-skinned women, we're always expected to do the work. And if we meet someone in the movement romantically, I think that sometimes Black men may lose sight of the fact that dark-skinned Black women, because I think y'all do a good job of making the non-dark-skinned women in the movement feel beautiful. But I don't think y'all doing a good job of making the dark-skinned women feel beautiful. Separate out our revolutionary side from our feminine side. We're still women. We still want to be viewed as pretty. It's very basic. As beautiful. And I just didn't get that feel of, I don't know what was in his head and heart, but I would like to know, were you really genuinely attracted to her physically? Did you think she was beautiful? Because I seen pictures of Afeni, and I thought, this woman is drop dead gorgeous. She's like the epitome of what the standard of Black beauty is. Dark skin, natural hair, beautiful eyes, just beautiful. This woman is just gorgeous. So I just wonder, was there really a true attraction there? And I wonder also, did Billy Garland truly love her? And all that leads to the question of, why didn't you marry her? Why didn't you marry her? Those would be my questions. Were you truly attracted? Did you truly love her? And why didn't you marry her? Because I don't get that feeling of true love and adoration. I get more of a feeling of upsettedness from him. So, for example, there's so much stuff that he was saying in this, but he talked about the Dear Mama, how he kind of felt like they focused a little bit too much on Afeni in the Dear Mama documentary. Well, in my mind, why not focus on her? I mean, Dear Mama, she obviously inspired Dear Mama. Yes, it was, dedicated to all moms, but the inspiration came from his own mama. Can we not acknowledge? That's what I'm saying. This is darkism. People don't even want to give dark-skinned women their credit. They don't even want to give, and we barely even hear about or see in the public his dark-skinned beautiful sister. I don't like that either, but I'm gonna keep it focused on what I came here to talk about. So when he said things like that, insinuating that, hey, they putting too much of the focus on Afeni in the Dear Mama documentary, to me, it's like that's not a feeling of endearment or a feeling of love. And he said that he was in a relationship with her for 18 months. Okay, you're in a relationship with her. What kind of relationship was this? Was this a relationship of just, okay, this is convenient for me, you're in the movement, I'm in the movement? What kind of and then there's something else he said, and I don't want to take it out of context, but y'all go listen to the video. He said something about when they were done, and I'm paraphrasing, y'all. When they were finished, whatever their activities were in the movement for the day, I would drop her ass off. Like, even the way that you're speaking and referring to her just in basic conversation is not endearing. I don't get a sense of true love. I don't feel it. And you can feel when someone really has love for a person, even if that person divorced, or even if that person broke up with that person and it's been years. If there was true love there, you're gonna feel it. You're gonna sense it when you hear the person speak on the person. Okay. Another thing too that a point that I want to make. There are a lot of people that are trying to disparage a dead woman's name, Afeni Shakur, by saying that she lied to Tupac about who his father was. But let me tell you the flip side of that. I'm not going to sit here and sit back and read these comments and not defend Afeni Shakur, because the bottom line is this: y'all can say whatever y'all want. No one put a gun to Billy Garland's head and said, you can't go to the court system and fight for your son. Nobody did that. Unless somebody put a gun to this man's head and somebody come out and say it and provide some proof and say, you better not come nowhere near this man and this woman, and you better not come nowhere near this child, and you better not go to the court system and petition the courts for a DNA test and for you to be able to get custody or get some type of joint custody of your son. Nobody put a gun to his head. Any man. I'm so tired of these men. You know, y'all go off on the women, and some of the women are wrong. They are, because I think it's wrong when a woman denies or is not truthful about who the father of the child is. When like, that's wrong. But it's also wrong if a man thinks that a child is his and he doesn't pursue legal action. No one can stop you from doing that. This is America, baby. If you want to, if anybody in any jurisdiction in America feel like a child is theirs, there is not a person alive or a judge alive that's going to stop you from going to the court. And in a lot of courts, you could do your own petition. You could do your own paperwork. No one can stop you from doing that. No one can stop you from pursuing a relationship with your child. If you really want to do that, you can go to he could have went to the courts. He could have done the legal paperwork on his own, or he could have hired a lawyer. I've actually seen fathers do this. So that's an excuse. It's an excuse on these men's part, some of these men's part, to lessen the blow of feeling bad about or the ramifications that the child will have about why they don't know who their dad is. It's the mom's fault and the dad's fault. If you're going to sit here and blame Afeni Shakur, then you got to also sit here and blame Billy Preston. Because nobody stopped him from taking some type of legal action to pursue his parental rights. Nobody. Show me the person that stopped him, physically stopped him from pursuing his parental rights, and I'll shut the fuck up. Show me the individual, the human being that stopped Billy Preston from going to a court in any jurisdiction in America to pursue his parental rights of Tupac Shakur. Show me the person that stopped him. I'll wait. In fact, I'm going to shut up and I'm going to wait for some proof and evidence. Crickets. Crickets. I'm waiting, but all I hear is crickets, and I'm gonna be waiting a long time hearing crickets, so I'm going to keep on going. I'm going to keep talking. I'm going to keep going because I already know that y'all are not going to be able to show me any proof. Because the fact of the matter is, the ugly truth that y'all don't want to admit is no one stopped him from pursuing his parental rights if he felt as if Tupac was his child. Y'all don't have no proof. Let's get specific, Miss Keisha. You said you can look it up rather than pretending you can't see. Look up what? What do I need to look up? Let's be specific. I don't like dealing in generalities. Look up what? Because let me revisit my question again. The question was, show me proof of a human being that stopped Billy Garland from pursuing legally his parental rights. Show me the proof. Waiting. But like I said, I'm going to keep waiting because you all can't show me any proof of an individual or a person that physically stopped Billy Garland from pursuing his legal parental rights. All you can do is sit here and talk and give your opinions. You're not giving me no proof. And right now, what I'm asking for is solid proof and evidence. You're in your emotions. I'm in my emotions too, but I'm also in my facts. I'm also in my facts. And Keisha, you still haven't stated exactly what I can look up. You're in your feelings now and you're not making logical sense. I asked you to tell me what exactly can I look up in respect to the question that I asked of proving to me what individual or human being stopped Billy Garland from pursuing his legal rights. And you still haven't showed me or explained to me what I can look up. So I'm going to keep moving because you're emotional and you're not factual. And I gave you an opportunity and you still can't even answer the question. You just want to argue and fuss and fight. Now, I'm argumentative. I'll be the first to admit that. But you got to come to me with the facts. I'm argumentative with the facts. And I just asked you a question to give me something factually. And I asked you to clarify, what do you mean by you can look up, and you are not clarifying it. So let's move on. Let's move on. A lot of these people are mad and they're angry because I'm a dark-skinned woman and I'm not going to sit here and take this man's side in terms of certain things. And I'm going to call out the darkism, and a lot of y'all are offended. Okay? You don't like it. That's not my problem, and I don't care. My question is, why didn't Billy Garland marry Afeni Shakur? He doesn't go into detail about that. In fact, he doesn't really go into detail about their relationship. And the person that was given the interview from the Art of Dialogue, the person actually was trying to gouge some information about the relationship. But I noticed that Billy Garland did not want to, he kind of like skipped around it. I could tell when people are dancing around words. I could see right through it. He didn't want to focus on the relationship itself. I almost want to see another interview. Hopefully, the Art of Dialogue can get another interview where he can answer some of these questions from the audience that watched the interview, because these are valid questions. Because he's talking and speaking on a woman that is dead and cannot defend herself. So quite naturally, people that are fans of Afeni Shakur and respect her and got love for her, okay, you are making these accusations, you're making these claims, so we got questions. We want answers. My question is, why didn't Billy Garland marry Afeni Shakur? My other questions is, can you go into more depth, into more detail surrounding the start, middle, and end of the relationship? Can you go into more detail? Because see, Afeni Shakur is not here to do that. Can you go into more detail, Billy Garland, about when did you end up marrying your wife that you married? And what was the relationship like between you and Afeni once you married your wife? What were those dynamics? Let's get to some of those questions. Let's answer those questions. Because if you're going to be honest and you're going to be mad and you're going to speak on someone that's dead and gone, that cannot defend themselves, it's only right that the audience is going to have questions. We're going to have questions. Okay. Merladine, you said Billy Garland didn't want to deal with Afeni. Afeni was very bullheaded. Okay. That's my point. In doing a follow-up interview, let's talk about that. Why did the relationship end? What were the dynamics after the in terms of the relationship after it ended? Once Billy Garland married his wife and knew, or Afeni spoke to him, or however it went down, about a child that they had. What were those relationship dynamics? Tell it all. Tell it all. Tell the whole truth. Be honest. And you want us to see you as the father of Tupac Shakur, and if he is, that's another thing too. Here's another thing that I don't understand that I would like to get some clarification on. Okay, he's saying that he's the father of Tupac Shakur. He actually does look like Tupac Shakur. I will give him that. He actually, the voice of Tupac Shakur and Billy Garland is actually the same to me. It's very similar to speaking voice. But here's what I haven't seen and what I would like to see. Is there a way to do a DNA test? Is there a way to do a DNA test? And Merle, I hope I'm saying your name right. You got to understand, I don't know if you just tuned into this live, but I've already given the reasons as to why I sense darkism here. I sense from Billy Garland, no disrespect to him, that there's this aura of, you're good enough for me to be with and sleep with and have a relationship, but not to marry. And when a black man does that to a dark-skinned woman, let me be clear, to me, that is darkism. When a black man does that to a dark-skinned woman, impregnates her, and doesn't marry her to the dark-skinned activist, I view that as darkism. Okay? Okay? It's very clear, very plain and simple. To me. Because what I've noticed is a pattern of old school, black men will impregnate dark-skinned women, but they'll go marry a non-dark-skinned woman. Okay? They will impregnate a black woman. We're going to even just get it down to race here. We're not going to talk about dark skin, but they'll impregnate a black woman and go marry a non-black woman. One example I could give y'all is Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre. If you don't know, Dr. Dre, I don't believe he married none of the black women that he impregnated, but he married the Hispanic woman and she got all the money. That, my friend, is darkism. That is, my friend, is darkism. Good enough to use this woman's body and for pleasure, for your own pleasure, and whatever relationship you need to have at the time, she serves that purpose. But why you can't parlay that into a marriage with a black, dark-skinned woman? What's the problem? Explain, black men. Explain. Explain yourselves. The dark-skinned woman is good enough to be used. To me, that's no more than that's no different rather than what was going on during slavery. What a slave master, yes, a master damn boss, was violating the dark-skinned black woman for their own pleasure, for their own needs, treating her like an animal, not like a human being, using and abusing her, the dark-skinned black woman. But what did they do? Obviously, they was with their white wives. So in a sense, black men have done a version of that. Yes, that's what y'all doing, some of y'all. Be honest about it. Like I told y'all, if y'all was honest about the darkism that y'all commit, I could I could deal with it. I like honest people. Even if I disagree or I'm mad with what you're saying, if you brutally honest, straight up, that brutal, nasty honesty that gets people mad, that's the honesty I like. That's what I like. But y'all, it's like sugar water. I don't like sugar water. Y'all like sugar sandwiches. I don't want no sugar sandwich. I want the bitter, raw truth. Tell me the truth and quit lying. Well, Merle, Valine, you said there may be a flaw in darkism theory. And I agree with you. There's flaws in everything. There's flaws in every theory. There's flaws in every theory on earth. That's why new paradigms arise, because of flaws in theoretical assumptions. And out of that, you get and it just keeps going on and on and on. So I'm not going to disagree with you on that. That doesn't bother me. Still doesn't take away from the fact that there are black men out there that will have babies with a dark-skinned black woman and leave her high and dry and impoverished, poor, struggling. That typical hood, dark-skinned woman, "Ooh, I'm so poor, I had to raise my kid by myself." Y'all like that. Nigga, while they go off and into the light-skinned son, into the mixed race son, the biracial son, the white son, and live happily ever after. That's what y'all do. Don't get mad at me about y'all darkism. I'm just simply calling it out. So that's my take on overall. But you know what though? Hot Wings and Ranch says, I'm reading some of y'all comments, trying to post some of them because I want to I want to make sure I'm including y'all comments. Hot Wings and Ranch says, also he knew she was bullheaded before. Right. That yeah. I'm pretty sure that Afeni Shakur, she was probably even more, way more bullheaded, so-called bullheaded, than when she was younger. Yeah, if you with somebody for 18 months, yeah, you're gonna get to know that person. You're gonna get to know that person's personality. Or if you working with them in a movement, you're gonna get to know their personality and see how they move. So that is not an excuse either. That's not an excuse. But another thing I will tell you, Hot Wings and Ranch, see, bullheaded on a light-skinned woman, white woman, or a biracial woman is considered to be an asset. An asset. Okay? But if a dark-skinned woman is bullheaded, that's a liability. Unless, of course, we being used to be in a a black revolutionary movement where you do need that skill set. I mean, being bullheaded and a fighter and an argumentative and articulate in a black power revolutionary movement is an asset, yes, overall, but it's still in general is more of a liability once you step outside of that movement. For the dark-skinned woman, that type of having that type of nature is a liability, as opposed to Kathleen Cleaver, who I'm sure everybody praises her. She's light-skinned, and she came from the middle class. She came from the middle class. That's another thing. If you look at the Black Panther Party, there's a lot of darkism going on in the Black Panther Party. I was a member of a Black Power movement. I'm going to critique it. That doesn't mean that I won't critique it from the dark-skinned activist perspective. People praise Kathleen Cleaver, but y'all sitting up here throwing dirt on a dark-skinned woman's name, and I'm not here for it. I'm not going to let y'all do that, because the dark-skinned people are the ones that are the most victimized by racism and darkism. It's not biracial people, biracial light-skinned people like Kathleen Cleaver. Check her background. She came from a middle-class background. She chose to be a part of that move. She didn't have to do that. She came from upwardly mobile parents. But I think a lot of times the truth is some lighter skinned Black people, and I'm not saying all, but some lighter skinned Black people, they want to get involved in something that makes them feel like, okay, I'm a part of something Black. And they know that there's a lot of Black self-hatred and preference for light skin. And they know that they can come into a Black movement and be the head. That's exactly what happened. They could be the head. And I believe that the only reason why Afeni Shakur gets notoriety as opposed to the other dark-skinned women that really made up the majority of the Black Panther Party, they don't ever get the notoriety. It's the lighter-skinned women that gets the notoriety, if y'all want to tell the truth. But Afeni Shakur is famous because she's, Tupac Shakur's mother, and so her dark skin, they'll look aside from that. They'll push that aside and give her a seat at the motherfucking table. You get off of here, because I'm starting to get pissed at the darkism. I'm starting to get pissed. Because I know this stuff exists. Y'all want to fucking rain on me and piss on me and tell me you ain't pissing on me. Get the fuck out of here. Try not to cuss. But don't do that. We're not going to do that. We're going to tell the truth. Probably so, Hot Wings. Probably so, Hot Wings and Ranch. No man really wants a bullheaded woman of any race. It is a problem that comes out either in the short run or the long run. Well, that may be true. But I think that Black men are more tolerant of non-dark bull-headed females as opposed to dark bull-headed females with full African Black dark skin features. That's the darkism. That's where the darkism comes in. Okay? That's where the darkism comes in. Hold on, y'all. Give me a moment. Y'all. Don't go nowhere. All right, thank y'all for waiting. But yeah, that's just my take on the interview, y'all. Like I said, and I want to be very clear, I don't mean no disrespect towards Billy Gardner at all. I actually respect the man for being a part of the Black Panther movement and fighting for Black power. I got a lot of respect for that. But I'm separating that from what he's saying regarding Afeni Shakur and his relationship. And she's a dark-skinned woman, and I am going to defend dark-skinned women because she's not here. She's dark-skinned. She was oppressed. She had a hard life, and the fact of the matter is, y'all can say whatever y'all want. She gave birth to one of the greatest rappers that was ever born. She did. Yes, she did. Give her some credit for that. So I can't just sit up here and just, people sitting up here talking about her and saying nasty. I even see a dark-skinned woman in here, and you dead wrong for that. You're wrong, and I feel that you got the devil in your heart, and you're evil because I saw your comment. You sat here and you're talking about a dead dark-skinned woman. You should really be ashamed of yourself. And if your profile, I'm finna put your face back up there. You look like you're dark-skinned, okay? And you sit up here saying evil, wicked, negative things about a dead dark-skinned woman. Keisha, look at you. How dare you? You don't have to like Afeni Shakur, but you're dark-skinned yourself according to your profile picture, unless you lying, because sometimes people be putting up fake profile pictures and they be pretending to be black and they're not even black. So I don't know if you really dark-skinned, but if you really are dark-skinned, then you really should be ashamed of yourself for speaking negatively of a dead dark-skinned woman who was impoverished, oppressed, and fought for your fucking freedom. How dare you? I'm not gonna just sit up here and let y'all throw dirt on Afeni Shakur name like that. She's a dark-skinned woman. She's a dark-skinned woman that fought for me. Who the hell do you think you are to talk negatively about her? You damn right I'm gonna defend her. You damn right. You damn right. And I'll defend her against other wicked dark-skinned women that's talking shit about her like you. Sit up here talking crazy, ain't got no respect. You probably couldn't have walked a mile in Afeni's shoes. You don't know what she was dealing with. She grew up in the era where there was real racism thrown in your face. And fought for you. Fought to make it better for dark-skinned black women like you and black people like you. And you sitting up here talking crazy about her? How dare you? You should be ashamed of yourself. And you brought your behind up on my live, making these negative comments, slandering her. What you're doing, you're sitting up here slandering Afeni Shakur. You're slandering her. That's slander. You're a dark-skinned woman slandering another dark-skinned woman that's not alive to defend herself. Shame on your ass. Keisha. I don't appreciate it not one bit. I don't understand how dark-skinned women can throw other dark-skinned women under the bus. And especially in situations like this, where the dark-skinned woman was oppressed and fought for your rights. And I'm not sitting up here saying everybody is perfect. No human being on earth is perfect. We all have our flaws. But you're slandering a person that's an actual, for real, live civil rights, black rights icon. And you are wrong for that. You need to stop. You need to get on your knees and pray. And you need to ask God to forgive you for that, because you're dead wrong. No respect. This is why we cannot progress, because we don't got no respect for the elders that done fought so damn hard to make our lives easier. Like, what were they fighting for? What the hell were they fighting for? These ungrateful ass motherfuckers. What were they fighting for? Yeah, exactly. Hot Wings. She's wrong. She came up on here attacking Afeni. I'm sitting up here reading her comments. She's attacking this lady. I'm not going to sit up here and let you attack her in my presence. I'm not going to do it. Because I already said when I first came on here, I don't mean no disrespect to Billy Garland. I don't mean no disrespect to that man. I already said that. I'm not here to be disrespectful to him, because that man done fought for Black power too. That's just what it is. But like I said, I could sit up here and talk about the situation of the interview because it's public. He put it out there for public consumption. But I don't have to sit up here and disrespect him. I'm not going to sit up here and disrespect him. I'm asking questions. But she's sitting up here and she dark-skinned herself, and she going off and going in on a dark-skinned woman. I'm very disappointed. These people are just crazy. I don't know what the hell is wrong with them. I don't know what the hell is wrong with them. It's just terrible. And Afeni, the one that raised him. Y'all got to remember that. People talking about when Billy Garland, he came wanting a part of the estate. But that woman is the woman that raised him. She raised him. She went through the fire. Why is y'all mad about that? Why is you mad that the woman wanted to control the estate? It only makes sense. She was there. They had their ups and downs as any parent. Parents and children have ups and downs. Black, white, green, damn purple. It don't matter. But if you stayed in the fire and you raised the child and you took care of them, it's only right that she is over the estate. I don't see the problem. Plus, y'all could be mad all y'all want. Tupac loved his mom. He loved his mom. That man loved it. Man, y'all, child, please. That man loved his mama. That's what it is. Some men are like that. You could be mad. You could be upset. It don't matter. He said, "And dear mama, ain't a woman alive that could take my mama's place." The man told y'all all y'all needed to know right there. End of the story. He told y'all straight up. And some of y'all mad about that. Some of y'all can't handle it. You're upset. Oh, well. I don't know what to tell you. That came out of his mouth. Ain't a woman alive that could take my mama's place. Now, I can't do nothing but respect it. If you disagree with it, some women disagree with that sentiment because they feel like, okay, a man in the Bible, it says when a man gets married, you are supposed to cleave to your wife, but he wasn't married. I didn't recall him being married at his time of death. If I'm wrong, y'all correct me. But he said this, these were his words. So that tells you something about the way that he thought about his mom. So please stop trying to make Afeni. You can't make her look bad. Her legacy is already built. It's done. The legacy is already written in Tupac's lyrics and in other ways. The fans, we know. The real true fans of Tupac Shakur, if you are a real true fan of Tupac Shakur, I'm going to tell you right now, you cannot be a fan of Tupac Shakur without being a fan of Afeni Shakur. You can't. I'm going to tell you right now, you cannot be a fan of Tupac Shakur without being a fan of Dr. Mutulu Shakur. You can't. Now, y'all need to just stop. I'm being delusional. I'm not being delusional. Stating my opinion based upon a interview that was made for public consumption, just like anybody else would do. Okay, so I done said what I needed to say, y'all, about the interview. If the spirit hits me, I'm going to come back and speak on it again. I would like to invite everyone to the performance reading of my play, A Dark-Skinned Woman's Revenge. As you guys can see, I have it on the screen. It is a Dark-Skinned Woman's Revenge performance reading. The date is Friday, September 1st, 4 p.m. The location is the Tubman. Oh my God, y'all. I was talking, and I hope y'all heard what I was just saying. One of the things I did mention and I said was that you can't be a fan of Tupac Shakur without being a fan of Afeni Shakur, and you cannot be a fan of Tupac Shakur without being a fan of Dr. Mutulu Shakur, because those were the people that raised him. Those were the people that gave him his worldview. Those were the people that are the reason why you really like his music, because their revolutionary views were implanted in him at an early age, and he implemented that into his songs. So how could you not be a fan of his mother? It doesn't make any sense. How could you not be a fan of Dr. Mutulu Shakur? It doesn't make any sense. Think about that objectively. So once again, guys, I want to remind you, I'm going to be at the Atlanta Black Theater Festival. I'm going to be doing a performance reading of my play, A Dark-Skinned Woman's Revenge, on September 1st at 4 p.m. The location is the Tubman African American Museum, 310 Cherry Street. Save that date, guys. Please make a donation to help me with all of my endeavors, because I have been pushing and fighting for A Dark-Skinned Woman's Revenge on the Dark Skin Activist Tour, but it does take funding. So my Cash App that I would like for you all to make a donation to is, my Cash App is $RashidaLala. It's on the screen right now, as you guys can see. $RashidaLala. Once again, that is $RashidaLala. Once again, that is $RashidaLala. And the spelling is $RASHIDALALA. Once again, RASHIDALALA. I'm asking everyone in the sound of my voice to please go and make a donation and to help me to make it happen. I need your continued financial support, because the work that I do is not easy. Fighting against darkism is not easy. Producing my play readings and my plays and my books and all those things in regards to darkism and dark skin activism is not easy. So I need your financial support. So make a donation today. Once again, the Cash App is in the chat. It is $RashidaLala. My GoFundMe, I'm going to put that link in there. If you want to go to my GoFundMe, that's fine as well. My GoFundMe, you can find that easily if you Google Rashida Strober GoFundMe. Rashida Strober GoFundMe. Okay, I just put the link in the chat. You can also go to my website, which is darkskinactivist.com. Darkskinactivist.com. Once again, that is darkskinactivist.com. And you can download a free ebook copy of my book entitled Darkism: 25 Ways Dark-Skinned People Are Discriminated Against. And go there, ladies and gentlemen, and read my book, Darkism. Read my book, Darkism. It is one of the gifts that I give to people in exchange for their donations, to show my appreciation for y'all supporting me financially. Darkism, if you go read Darkism, you will definitely begin to understand why I think the way I do, why and how I became the dark skin activist. You will begin to understand, because a lot of y'all are not really truly understanding. And sometimes, I know that we love to watch YouTube videos. We're in that age of where everybody watching videos, but sometimes y'all need to pick up a book and read. So I encourage everyone in the sound of my voice to do two things: to go to my website, darkskinactivist.com, darkskinactivist.com. Once again, darkskinactivist.com, and download Darkism. And then go make a donation to my Cash App, which is $RashidaLala, $RashidaLala. Once again, that is $RashidaLala. I want to thank y'all for listening and watching. Like, share, subscribe, donate, and have a fantastic Sunday.